we should just say and like admit in life is that the large majority of your day you can't expect to be experiencing like happiness. Like you're gonna be at a baseline for most of your day because happiness has to be something that's abnormal, otherwise it wouldn't be real.
Good without
But
bad
then,
is nothing.
Yeah, but then with like social media and like with just like I have a very busy schedule and I feel like I'm always trying to get something, like I'm kind of always trying to be happy, and you should always try to be happy, but I think we don't say that you're not going to be happy a lot of the time.
That is quite a thing. It's an interesting
and without being
concept
depressed necessarily, it's just normal.
Yeah, right. It's an interesting concept. That like highs without lows are just average.
Yeah.
Like if things were good all the time, it's kind of it's almost an answer to like, sometimes people will say like if God exists or that type of thing, then why do bad things happen? And that's sort of like an answer to that question of why bad things happen is because without bad things,
I never thought of that.
Good things would be meaningless. Like if everything was always good, that it wouldn't be good anymore.
I really never thought of that. Yeah,
it's interesting.
No, that makes sense.
Hello and welcome to the Taking Off the Mask podcast. My name is Ashanti Branch and I'm really glad you've joined us. Today is our last episode of the Face to Face with Mohandas. Mohandas was our youth host, and he is finishing up his senior year in high school and doing some other projects he's working on. And we are going to be bringing on a new youth host in the next coming weeks. But today's his last episode. He recorded several episodes and we've been kind of sprinkling them around, but today is the last one. His guest today is Selim Jones. Mohandas and Selim have known each other since they were 7 years old. So going on the 10 or 11 years. That's more than half their life, right? So imagine knowing somebody for more than half of your life right now. They have a connection. Selim is a year older, maybe, so he's already a freshman at UC Santa Cruz. And in this conversation, they connect. Old friend, connecting again, using this game, the adventure to go deeper. And we're excited about this journey with Mohandas and to meet a new friend, Selim Jones. And what we're expecting in this conversation that you will get is maybe think about somebody in your life who who you've known for a while, but maybe you haven't talked to them in a while. Maybe you just reach out to them and say, hey, can I check in with you about something? Can we talk about something? Can we have a quick conversation? Maybe. I think we all need it, especially more than ever now as our world and our country and our places that we live in, probably depending on where you live, feel like there's some edginess going on, maybe more than ever. And I can only speak for myself that that's what I feel, but I'm not projecting that that's what you feel. But whatever you feel where you are, maybe it will be really beneficial to connect with some old friends. As we are winding down 2022, we're in the fourth quarter right now. Well, actually tomorrow is November. Yeah. So we're in the middle of the fourth quarter. And what we're going to experience as we get to a couple more weeks, there's a lot happening in the U.S. There's a lot of election energy happening and stirring and text messages and phone calls and a lot of like bickering and words happening around the news media, social media. And our young people are also feeling it too. Our young people are feeling a lot of pressure. We're hearing from young people all over that they're feeling stress and worry and anxiety. And what I'm inviting you to do is that if you have not yet made a mask, maybe you've been listening, you're like, one day I'm gonna make one. I'm gonna invite you to make one now. Today's sponsor is the Million Mask Movement, as it always is. The Million Mask Movement is growing, and we are looking for to build this team. And if you want to be a part of this team, if you know that you want to be an ambassador, maybe you want to just tell some of your friends about it. We are looking for a Million Mask Movement champions in communities all over the world, bringing people together in your own home and making masks with them and really beginning to build out this idea that there's no way that ever forward here in our small little office is going to collect all the million masks. It's going to take a community, a global community effort. And we look forward to you being a part of that. You know, the last week I did a workshop at a school, and a young man at the end of the workshop came up and he said, you know, how do you navigate the idea of the world when it just feels like you have to be who other people want you to be all the time? And I said, first, it starts with you being honest with yourself, asking yourself hard questions. What am I feeling right now? What is this feeling of overwhelmed coming from? What is the things I'm carrying that I'm not talking about? Where do I need to ask for more help? Who are the people I can trust? Knowing that everybody doesn't deserve to hear or know what's behind your mask. I mean, we've created them for a reason. But to begin asking the question, who in my circle can I begin to trust a little bit more? Who do I want to maybe get to know a little bit more? And being willing to be vulnerable and reach out. And so we're excited. And we believe that what's happening next in this movement is going to change the world. We know that these masks continue to open doors for conversation and connection. And you can do it too. So we thank you for watching, liking. If you haven't yet given us a rating on wherever you listen to podcasts, please do that. If you haven't yet made a comment or reflection or feedback, please do that. It helps people find this podcast and definitely helps young people to know that they're not alone. We have a goal of reaching people all over the world. So if you know someone in a place that we should connect them with us. Have them send us a message on social media, ideally Instagram or LinkedIn or Facebook or Twitter, somewhere. Have them reach out to us somehow, and we will do our best to get back to them. And we're excited for the next season of the Taking Off the Mask podcast. Thank you so much, folks. We'll see you soon.
Hello, welcome to the Taking Off the Mask podcast. I'm Mohandas and today we have Selim joining us.
Happy to be here.
So, first of all, how's your week been?
Week's been bad, dude.
Oh man,
It's been tough. A lot of assignments. I have right arm injuries, left arm injuries. Got me at a bad time, and my answers are going to be cynical.
Bit jacked up,
but I'm glad to do this now.
Well, that's rough. Hopefully this will cool
How
the nerves.
How are you?
You know, I'm doing all right. I was having a pretty busy week,
Sure.
A little stressful, but then it kind of evened out, and now I'm cruising, chilling.
Stress isn't always too bad. Sometimes
I heard a study once that people that rated themselves as being stressful really often versus people that were stressed often but thought that stress was good for them, the ones that thought stress was good for them lived 20 more years on average. So that's
changing
crazy.
My life already.
Yeah. So here's what we're gonna do. We have this Ever Forward Club card game, and we are going to be answering these questions as best we can. If we turn over this first destination card, boom, we've got Forgotten City of Esperanza.
Dope.
And tight.
Nice.
And nice. This has an 8 in the corner, which basically means we have to answer 8 points worth of questions. So let's get started.
Okay. Am I first?
If you wish. Let's see.
Sure.
The first question is, who is someone you are missing right now? This one's worth 3 points. So, you could start.
Yeah, okay. Jeez. That's tough. And
if you wish, I can start.
Yeah, maybe you should start,
Alright, someone that I am missing right now. I mean, I'd probably say, so I kind of have 2 answers.
Okay.
One is I have a lot of family on the East Coast. We are in California. Oakland, California, to be specific, the town. And I have a lot of family on the East Coast, and we actually visited them this summer, which was the first time in like 4 years. Like, I rarely get to see them, and to see them is always, fun, and then I don't get to see them for extended periods of time.
Yeah.
So sometimes that's, disappointing. I'd like to be able to travel more often. Then another thing is, when I was just thinking, it reminded me of I was in Costa Rica, and there were some like instructors and stuff there that we were hanging out with for 9 days that were like some of the coolest people I've met.
Yeah.
They had all been to like 40 countries and stuff, and they had such cool stories and stuff. It was just like one of those things where you meet people in a certain place and you make good friends, and then it ends and you're like, oh, rough.
Do you think we'll ever see them again?
I don't know, man. Guess we'll see.
We'll see.
I've got, 90 years left? Yeah.
Why'd you look at... Okay. I haven't answered at this point. The answer is my 2 very young cousins, Brindle and McNeil, who I think are 4 and 1 at this point, and I really haven't seen them that often because of COVID, and the timing of them being born during this pandemic. So it's a weird missing thing. It's like an entire missing thing. Not even just I'm missing them, like, I saw them, I spent a lot of time with them, and now I don't get to do that. It's like I've never gotten to at all.
Yeah, I feel that. I actually have a I guess the word is nephew, but it's kind of like the technical term is first cousin once removed, but they tell you you're supposed to refer to it as nephew and uncle.
Your nephew, all right.
So I have like a nephew that I saw once when he was an infant. This is the problem.
Yeah. Okay, you really haven't seen him.
It's a Nazi. But I saw him once when he was like an infant.
Yeah.
And they live in Antioch.
Okay.
And he lives with his mom. His dad, who is my cousin, lives here or in Texas. He's around. But yeah, I saw him once when he was like an infant, and then I just saw him recently.
Okay.
And he's like,
how was that?
He can talk and walk and like he's
man.
grooving.
Oh,
and then
man.
I skipped a lot of chapters.
Yeah.
So that's a similar one.
Hopefully we can see him soon.
Yeah, I'll have to get around. And then I recently had one of my other cousins had a son, but I've gotten to see that one more often.
Is that 3 points?
Yeah, that's 3 points right there. 3-pointer. All right. A characteristic of myself that I don't talk about much.
I can take this. I'd say a characteristic of myself that, don't go out there sharing too often is that I am a very artsy person. I appreciate the arts a lot, and I listen to music constantly, and I've tried to pick up instruments, even though music has always come very hard to me. Like, I'm tone deaf, and just and I love movies. There's this store there's this bookshop on International that I just happened into a few weeks ago, and they had it was like a half art gallery, half bookstore situation that I don't remember what it's called, but it was pretty cool. And I think that those things are sort of things that you have to appreciate by yourself, so it makes sense that I wouldn't really have brought that to other people, and I'm not in any clubs or anything, but it means that not a lot of people think about that when they think about me.
Yeah. For surely. With me, it's probably, there's a few little things. One that comes to mind is that...
Can I get a guess?
Go ahead.
Because I do know you pretty well.
What's the
I
guess?
there's no way I'm gonna get this straight.
I'll give you credit if you guess any of
I
them.
think your thing is gonna be that you don't like being held down. You like switching around things. There's no way that's right. That's not
no
what you were
cap.
thinking.
That's kind of right.
Oh,
What
right?
I was gonna say is that I'm a bit of a wild child in disguise, or
smart.
a bit of a free bird.
So fucking smart.
And it doesn't show because when you meet me, I'm a pretty calm guy. Like I'm pretty level-headed. You know, you don't see me like getting in fights or stuff like that.
I don't, at least.
Yeah, you don't know what happens after midnight.
After midnight.
But around these parts. But yeah, I'm a bit of a wild child. For example, how it shows is like my mom tells me stories of when I was like a little kid, and I would just ask her these random things. She describes me asking this stuff in like little angel child voice,
Sure.
saying stuff like, "Mom, can I sharpen my teeth?" and just
That's
craziness
That's
like
a little
that.
Concerning.
Yeah, or like I've always been super into like fast things, you know. I always loved like race cars and that, like motorcycles and all that stuff, action sports. And for example, like I desire to travel a whole bunch in my life. I want to go to every country, and then I like rock music and stuff like that. So while I'm a calm person, it lets out in like random ways. I mean, even like jewelry, like I have this like bull head on. I just is that like real? It's turquoise. It's made of bone.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's just little ways that this stuff shows that I don't tend to fully let the wild child out. But it's in there.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
That's
All
8.
right. I believe
That's
so,
8
right?
points.
Yeah, that was a 5-point card.
Sheesh.
Bam.
It's getting kind of
Next.
easy.
Oh, this is another 5-pointer.
What is it?
Have you ever told someone you love them but didn't mean it? If so, why?
I kind of don't want to answer this.
Dang.
I kind of don't want to answer this question.
Sheesh.
Because I haven't told very many people that I love them.
Yeah.
So people would... I'm going to not answer that one.
That's a... This
I'll
is
take
a hard
I'll
one.
take the 0.
He's taking an O. Do I want to take
I mean,
it?
at this point, it's only 1.
Yeah.
Well, you could just say no if you haven't.
Now, what I'll say is
Yeah.
that I think it has happened, but
I hate to see it.
yeah, I think it has happened because
Alright.
people will like put you on the spot,
They
you
do.
know, and you're not gonna be like, heck no, I don't love you, you know.
I mean,
it's like
it's a tough position to be in.
it's one of those things we were talking about earlier with being like confrontational. You don't want to go against the grain.
Yeah.
So we could call that 1.
Okay. It's okay.
Throw it
It's
up
1
to
point.
9.
It's not that big of a deal. We'll take it.
Oh, actually, with the 8, we already passed this thing.
That's
so
what I said. That's why I
right.
said 8.
Oh, yeah. Gotcha. I thought you were just labeling it. Anyway, the next one is Camden Zoo. All right, so
Another 5.
what are you most afraid of? Deepest fear.
Okay, this isn't gonna get into like deep societal stuff, but I'm really scared of dying from drowning or overheating, because like the feeling of not really being able to breathe is the worst thing for me. I hate that.
It is. Drowning is one of my fears, because like I'm a pretty good swimmer, but just off of like will, like like no form,
just sheer passion.
I'm just like and that and yeah,
You're good at holding your breath though.
Yes, I've gotten pretty good at that, but just trying to prepare for worst case scenario. Doomsday prep. You never know when one of these waves is gonna sneak up on you while you're sleeping. But yeah, probably something I would say I'm most afraid of, other than that, is I mean, I have like a lot of sort of things I want to do, with my life, and I fear that those things, my fear is that I'll just end up living like a boring life. Yeah, like I have some like really big very out there aspirations, and like my fear is that I'll just like fail to do it, and it'll just be like the most average life, which is like kill me now.
That's
like
real,
that.
yeah.
I just do not want to live a boring life.
I mean, that fear is gonna help you though.
Yes, it's gotta get something to drive you out of bed in the morning, you know. So that's brings us up to 6.
Nice. We're not all the way there.
Oh, wow, getting all these 5-pointers, dang.
I wonder if there's more than 5.
Yeah. What are some things you feel that you wish you could say out loud? Some things you feel that you wish you could say out loud. Ooh. Huh. That's quite a question.
Mm-hmm.
Putting word to feeling, or no, putting feeling to word. You know, this is a interesting one. I have something that I like think about a lot that I rarely put into words because it's difficult to put into words. Like, it's not a straightforward thing, but this is one of those things like struggling with not having control.
Yeah.
Is that basically I ponder like what the meaning of life is.
Yeah.
Like what the point is, what's gonna actually matter when you're on your deathbed, that type of thing, like what you should prioritize. And I find that that's a big question. That's a big question, and every time I start thinking about it, like I wanna like come up with an answer in that moment and be
otherwise,
this is the
stressed.
priority. Yeah, right. And then it just brings it back to this like anxiety of not knowing what I should be prioritizing,
but the problem is though, like there's so much stigma around that question, around thinking like that. Like if you were to go up to and say that to someone, they just make a joke. They'd be like,
right.
42.
Exactly. It's a rough thing, but
Can I go into mine because you reminded me of something.
Sure.
I think that something I think we should just say and like admit in life is that the large majority of your day you can't expect to be experiencing like happiness. Like you're gonna be at a baseline for most of your day because happiness has to be something that's abnormal, otherwise it wouldn't be real.
Good without bad is nothing.
Yeah, but then with like social media and like with just like I have a very busy schedule and I feel like I'm always trying to get something, like I'm kind of always trying to be happy, and you should always try to be happy, but I think we don't say that you're not going to be happy a lot of the time.
That is quite a thing. It's an interesting
and without being
concept
depressed necessarily, it's just normal.
Yeah, right. It's an interesting concept that like highs without lows are just average.
Yeah.
Like if things were good all the time, it's kind of it's almost an answer to like, you know, sometimes people will say like if God exists or that type of thing, then why do bad things happen? And that's sort of like an answer to that question of why bad things happen is because without bad things,
I never thought of that.
Good things would be meaningless. Like if everything was always good, that it wouldn't be good anymore.
I really never thought of that. Yeah,
you know? It's interesting.
No, that makes sense.
But
I think I don't know if it's something that I do think about that I wonder if you have a thought on is acknowledging that as a fact that you're not going to be happy all the time.
Yeah.
Should you, the majority of the time, settle for not being happy?
Yeah.
Or because it's the reality? Or should you want to be happy because otherwise, what? That's like so messed up.
Yeah. I think it's that you fight to be happy because what it is I think the goal is to make it so the happy moments are even happier, you know, like your
Okay.
average, like basically
Okay.
making your baseline levels a little higher, and then your happy moments be like super happy as opposed to just a little bit happy, you know, something like that. And then also on the topic of what I was saying with like struggling to find out the meaning of life,
Yeah.
is I thought it was nice that I heard someone say, essentially, once you figure it out, like what the meaning of it all is, then there's kind of nothing left to do.
I would say.
Like life is about the journey type of thing. If you figure it out, then like what is there left? You know, it's about the search.
I'm not gonna find it, so don't worry about me.
Facts. Okay,
We
so
at 11?
yeah, that's 11. Okay. Boom. That's a dark looking card. This thing's got like a
What does it say?
demon on it.
Wait.
All right.
Can you put it up there, and I'm gonna try to read it backwards. What is a dream that you've let something?
Let go of. What is a dream that you've let go of? Oh well, track.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh snap.
That's so funny.
You know,
That's so
I've got a
funny.
lot of interests, and for a while, track was the biggest one.
That is
Olympics
hilarious.
were the goal for me, but at some point, I realized I was going to have to switch to some events that I was not as big a fan of if I wanted to kind of keep going. And with track, if you're not enjoying it, like if you don't want to be doing it, then it's literally just torture. Like you're
Yeah.
just putting yourself through
Yeah.
pain for no gain.
What did people like freak out at you when you quit?
Kinda. I mean, not a ton, but there was definitely people saying like, "Nah, don't quit now." There's, you know,
Mhm.
that type of thing. But I think what wasn't realized is that I had already been like contemplating it for a long time. Like I had, fought against it. What they weren't seeing my first
You'd been
jump
struggling
at it.
for a bit.
Yeah, I've been thinking about it for a little while. So that's one thing that I've let go of and have, moved on from.
Mm-hmm.
Got anything yourself?
Well, when I was little, I wanted to be a zoologist, and I don't want to be a zoologist anymore.
Something about that's so sad. You'll have to just go visit some
I haven't
animals.
even been to a zoo in like a year and a half.
Facts. I'm trying to go to a zoo. That sounds
Have you been to the
amazing.
SF one?
No.
What?
I
That's
would
sick.
like zoos
Yeah.
are great.
You should go there.
I want to on my bucket list, literally written out on
You
my
have a
bucket list. I
list.
do. It's got like 110 things on it, but literally written out on it is hang out with monkeys. Like that's something that
Nice.
I want to do. I did get to see monkeys in Costa Rica, like out in the wild.
That's dope.
Saw some howler monkeys, but I'm trying to like dap up a monkey. You know,
I don't think that would work.
I think you would.
There's a book I found one time, at the library, that was like these guys who were sort of like the Try Guys on YouTube, and basically they made a bucket list like of 100 things that they wanted to do before they died, and then
I think I know
it was like
these
5 of them,
guys.
and then they just started trying to check them off, and they got a bunch of media attention, and that started being their livelihood. And I haven't been able to find the book since, and I really liked it.
You know, I actually know who you're
Do
talking
you
about.
have the book?
I've watched
by
like
any chance?
I don't have the book, but I've watched like several TED Talks by those guys
Okay.
where they were talking about all the stuff they did. Like one of them went and walked on the red carpet and stuff.
Okay. I was about to say, are they the guys that like they wanted to walk on the red carpet and like
broke in.
hug Taylor Swift or something? But I didn't want it to be like you weren't gonna
Yeah.
remember, and then it was gonna be awkward.
Yeah, it was good. They actually kind of inspired me to physically
To do
write
it.
out the bucket list.
Yeah.
And work on some of those things. Still working on it.
Still-
I've got like
sure.
2 things checked, you know. But I'm working on that. And
Nice.
then yeah.
What are we at? What's our score?
So wait, that last one was a 5.
Yeah,
We were at
fives.
11, so 16.
Almost there. What do we need? 22?
This next one is a 3. What is a lie that you tell yourself about yourself that you need to stop telling?
The lie that I tell Selim about Selim is that Selim is that people will only like Selim if he puts all of his energy into making sure that they're okay. And I mean that's how I treat a lot of people, and it's good because it means that I've built a lot of good relationships from supporting people, and they support me back. They're good people, but it also has downsides.
Yeah. Sometimes something I need to stop telling myself is that I'm stuck.
You're not stuck, dude.
You know, exactly.
I got you.
I tend to sometimes when I'm not exactly where I want to be in life, you know, I want to be farther along or something, and it feels like I'm not making as much progress. Like I'm doing things to try and move forward, but I feel a little stagnant. And I start kind of internally telling myself I am stuck, which then reinforces the belief, making it worse. And I, in recent times, have kind of become aware that I'm telling myself that, and working to stop it.
Step one is knowing
actually get somewhere.
Yeah.
Exactly. Step one to fixing a problem is admitting you have a problem. Cool. So 20, 21, 22.
Yeah!
We
one more card.
Boom.
It's gonna be like a 1 point.
It's a 3.
Okay, we're good.
Last one.
Unless I don't answer.
True. Describe a time when you changed your mind about something that you once strongly believed.
I think I have like a lot of these.
Yeah, these come often because I try to learn things that can help me, and they that often contradicts beliefs. So one thing that comes to mind that I changed my mind, like a few years ago, I went vegetarian because obviously, as people know, meat has protein, and the thought is that you need meat protein specifically, like to build muscle and that type of thing. And I was running track at the time, and then
lifting
getting in shape, getting strong. And basically I watched a documentary about vegetarianism and veganism where they were talking about how it improves like athletic performance, like it's good for your cardiovascular system being the main difference. And that was a convincing documentary. It's called The Game Changers. Y'all should watch it.
It's not
on Netflix. It's good quality. But yeah, anyway, it convinced me, and I have been vegetarian ever since. There's been like 2 times when I ate fish, but yeah, and I've still been able to.
Oh, so you changed your mind to become a vegetarian?
Yes.
I thought that since I'd last seen you, you would stop being a vegetarian.
I'm still a green boy.
Nice.
And that. And it hasn't changed. I've gotten stronger since then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez. That's hard. Kind of want to just to be funny and make it so we only get 1 point, and we have to do another card.
It's up to you.
Yeah, let's do another one.
Right.
I don't like that. I don't want to talk about me being wrong.
Ooh, one more. It's another 3. Name something that you could do to improve your life. What's stopping you? It's like a 2-part question.
That is a good one. That's such a good question.
I could do to improve my life.
That is such a good question.
Well, two things come to mind.
Yep.
One is there is a people at school, especially that kid I was talking about previously. There are kids that just like bother me, you know. They and then I kind of try and separate, and then they follow me and keep bothering me, and I'm oftentimes not confrontational enough to be like, give me space, you know, and get out. We're not really friends here.
We're not friends at all.
We ain't friends. We ain't amigos.
No sir.
And you know, that kind of gets to me. And what's stopping me, like I said, is that, you know, just a little bit of fear that I'm overcoming, you know. However, I do notice progress. I think I am improving in this area. Sometimes that's all we can hope for. How about you?
I'm glad to hear it.
Something you could do
I
to improve.
need to go on more walks, and the thing that's holding me back is that, not because I'm not active enough, I'm like extremely active, but I don't have very much relaxed active time, and so past few weekends I've made sure to go on a walk when I start my morning, and I don't even bring my phone, and I've noticed it just makes me feel a lot better. I used to run in the morning when I was in cross country season, and that had the same effect on me, but I don't have the motivation for that anymore. But walking has that same effect, and I can do it even if I'm sore. And what's holding me back is kind of the reason that I need to do it, which is that I'm really busy. And so I need time to decompress, but I can't decompress because I'm really busy, but I need to decompress because I'm really busy.
Wow, deep.
But also, I need more places to walk because I've walked all the places.
I feel you. It's like that for me with jogging. I've ran around this neighborhood for a while now, and I'm running out of places. Yeah, you reminded me of something. What was it? Oh, you mentioned not taking your phone with you on the walk.
Yeah,
that's something.
You are a pioneer in that.
You know, I like to just kind of mention that for a minute. You know, spread the knowledge, spread the, because that's something I work on myself. Like most teenagers, I have fallen into. In the past, I fell into periods where I was doing like 4 hours a day on the phone. You know. And then one day I did the calculations and realized that was 17 years of my life by the time I'm like 90.
April spends 5 hours on her phone. I was like on her phone the other day, and you know, the like time spent thing, and I flipped onto it and she was like, don't look.
I was like that, and I did the calculation, and it was like 17, 18 years of my life, and I was like, oh my God, there's a lot I could be doing in that time. So that was that's a rough one that I believe more people should, you know, since then I've improved. Every once in a while there will be a day where I spend more than I'm proud of, but most of the time I try and keep it below an hour.
I'm not
ideally
there,
like
I'm getting there.
Yeah, I try and keep it low. But yeah, it's definitely something that kind of allows you to start thinking more about what you really want. You know, you go inside and you're like, okay, I feel incredibly bored now, but what actually needs to happen? You know, the phone is like a distraction from your real problem.
Is there anything you miss from the phone?
The
phone. I sound so old.
Yeah, I mean, just the entertainment, you know. I now and again I'll still do it, but I try and lower it and find different things to do. I also find that because so many people are stuck on their phone, oftentimes everybody's social life is on the phone, which leaves me out of the social circles. You know? And I'm like still doing it because that's how I want to live, but because everybody else is in the Matrix, I'm lonely out here.
Would you believe me if I said I've never seen the Matrix?
Well, I suppose, but
Probably.
you know,
I mean, obviously
oughta
you would
see
believe
it.
me, but like, would you be mad at me?
yes, it is. At least Matrix 1, you got to see it.
I watched
It's,
10 minutes of Matrix 1 and I just was like,
It's like a really old movie, but it's a good kind of metaphor. It's like a good thing.
can you
to
just
watch.
explain it to me in like 10 seconds?
Well, people stuck in a computer essentially, plugged in. You know, they one of them gets pulled out along with a few others
Is
that
that
are
the
out.
main guy?
Yeah,
Okay.
Neo, and they're in like doomsday type. The world sucks in
Alright.
real life essentially, and you know they kind of just try and destroy the Matrix, pretty much.
I guess
He
that
gets
makes sense.
and basically he gets control over himself while he's in the Matrix. Yeah.
That's the metaphor, guys.
Yeah, the Morpheus guy keeps telling him, free your mind, you know?
Oh yeah.
And
Right.
then, yeah. So essentially that's all we
That's all we have.
that's all we have essentially, you know. Before we go, got a quick gift, you know. I gave you the pen.
Dude.
We've also got this little necklace here, you know. It's got a heart on it, you know. Just a reminder to keep spreading the love,
Oh, thank
spread
you very much.
spread them good vibes, you know. Oh, and a sticker.
Okay, cool. I like the necklace.
Absolutely. Well, you know.
Ooh.
All right. Well, thank you for coming, my good sir.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
I had a great time.
It's been good. It's been a blast.
Peace. The Taking Off the Mask podcast is produced by Ryan Louie. Graphics are by Kelly Wong. And a special thanks to the team at Ever Forward, Vanessa Cortez and Choque Allen Alvarez. We'd like to thank everyone who's been a part of the creation of this podcast as we cross the 100th episode milestone and begin the work to the next 100. We hope that everyone who's been a part knows that they're a part of the Taking Off the Mask family. And we look forward to you being a part of it as well. If you like what you heard today, please subscribe, write a 5-star review, and share, as we look forward to continuing to have conversations that matter. Stay tuned for the relaunch of the Million Mask Movement on 11/11/22. That's November 11th of 2022. There's a math problem in there. You can find out more by visiting everforwardclub.org and following us on social media. Take care, and we'll see you soon.